Pete from the Eva blog here. If you're watching this replay, hang on, do I have any volumes on? Yeah, I do have my built-in mic. Hang on, let me change mics. There we go. Okay, that's better. I was like, why does this sound terrible? Yes, if you're watching the replay, you can actually check the YouTube description below for some timestamps for some jump leaks that will allow you to navigate straight to the content of this video. I'm going to have a few minutes worth of intro while people are starting to show up live. So you can skip straight to the content using the jump leaks in the video description below. So there you go. Just wanted to let you know. So while folks are coming on, I do want to, let's see here, show some different stuff here. Where are my scenes? Can I do this? There we go. That's much better. Stream starting soon. In just about 2 or 3 minutes, we shall kick it off. But once again, if you're watching the replay, the jump leaks, the timestamps, whatever they're called, it'll be in the description below. Hello, welcome to everybody. Feel free to say hello in chat. In fact, I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to give some people stickers. If you say hello in chat, give me your favorite emoji. Hey, look at these. I'm going to give these away on the stream. Can you see that at all? There we go. I got lots of swag to give away, some t-shirts and stickers, which I'm excited about. Legit excited about. Yeah, I'm going to wait just a couple of minutes for more people to come on, but I see a few people joining us. So hello, welcome to you, my friends. Hit me up in chat if you're here. Give me your favorite emoji, and we'll kick off the stream here in a second. I actually have a cool shared resource that we're going to go work through together. I literally have it open on my screen. I'll show it to you in just a second. I think it's going to actually be like super valuable for people. At least I hope so. At least I hope so. So there you go. Start my stream in a second. What's up, Namu? Namu? Hello. Welcome to the stream. The scream. I was going to call it the scream. About content yet? The timer reset on me. Whatever. Let's go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and kick it off. So I am going to give away a few swag items, which I'm actually really excited about. So right now, give me the emoji that best sums up how you are feeling about your pandemic life right now. In quarantine, working on your day job or whatever. I'm going to just mail you a sticker. That's all. No strings attached. It's just a sticker, but hey, it's something. So pick out an emoji, go to your emoji keyboard or go to emojipedia.org and drop it in chat. And I'll pick one of you after the stream is over, by the way. And just send you a little nice thing in the mail. A sticker, maybe something else. Maybe I'll include a personal handwritten note. And by handwritten note, I mean just like a doodle, because that's pretty much all I can do. My wrist hurts when I write too much. So drop me an emoji in chat, and I'll send one of you a nice little sticker. I'll do another giveaway for a t-shirt in a second. So that's see what you guys are posting or whatnot. But I see the emojis. Some of them are coming through there. So thank you. Oh, anyways. All right. I just posted this link in chat. It's bit.ly/first 100, as in the numbers, K doc. First 100K doc. Hey. Well, that would do it right there, wouldn't it? So sorry. Uh, my bad. My bad, team. That is hilarious. Fail McFailster over here. Anyways, the audio is now working. So let's try this again. bit.ly/first 100K doc. bit.ly/first 100K doc. It should lead you right there. It's also in the YouTube chat. First 100K doc. First 100K doc. Did I do that? I think so. Anyways, now that you guys can actually hear me, we're going to be posting, I'm going to be posting some of my lessons learned right here, and anybody else is welcome to add their own, which will be fun. I'm going to put like a spot for your website, just in case anybody wants to leave some stuff here on the call. And there's mine. Oh, that was weird how it did that. Anyways, back into my content. Now that you can hear me, gosh, my bad, guys. Oh, so ridiculous. I'm a noob. I'm a live streaming noob. I use Ecamm Live, by the way. Namu or Namu. Tell me how to pronounce your name. Sorry in advance. Yeah. Anyways, so do you even blog? Yes, I do. And I eventually started to make money. Actually made money like right off the bat. But then ended up making less money due to a few bad decisions, which I want to talk about on this live stream. And I'm going to present my takeaways in a second, but I just want to like present the overall breakout of where the income came from. I think that'll be like super helpful. Sorry, I keep opening this. I was going to get you guys to like share this. I'll tell you what, before I jump in, copy. Let me just stop this. I'm going to post this in chat. If anybody shares that on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, with the hashtag DYEB Live, use hashtag DYEB Live. Use that hashtag on Twitter or Facebook or something. I'll choose somebody after the live stream and send you a t-shirt and some stickers and I don't know, some other fun stuff. I got like a box of stickers over there. Raul, just using a brand account. Okay, I got you, man. Yeah, if anybody shares that little tweet during the live stream with a hashtag DYEB Live, I'll send you a care package. A quarantine blogging care package. Anyways, so first 100K, let's dive into it right here. I don't have all of my data in my accounting software because I switched accounting softwares about a year ago. So the numbers aren't completely there. My numbers are actually completely in this Excel spreadsheet. But in general, I want to look at the report. I'm going to try and do the past 3 years. Again, it's not all going to be here, but it'll give you a pretty good picture of affiliate income versus sponsorships versus digital products. So let's go like, can I just like do a custom range here? Yeah, let's go back. long time ago, January 2020. Let's go with June 2017. That was the day I launched Do You Even Blog? And, is this actually going to work? It didn't actually pull through. January 2017, June 2017. I got to click a date. That's why. That might be smart. Okay, so this is missing a little bit of data in here, but for the most part, it's there. And I think this is mostly the important part that I want to join in on right now. So affiliate income, roughly $12,000. Freelance income, $26,000. I want to talk about that. Sales, $49,000, almost $50,000 from that. And then sponsorships, that's actually one sponsorships. This is missing some data. It's missing about $10,000 worth of income, but I think it's pretty well split over that. So my first takeaway, and I'm going to put this on my spreadsheet as well. Yes, it is possible to start an online biz now, or blog, podcast, whatever, and make money fairly quickly. It is possible. Going back to the beginning, the first lesson learned ever, June 2017, I launched Do You Even Blog, 0 existing audience, made $51. Just so I could say I made money in month 1, by the way. That's the only reason I did that. July, August, pretty much the same thing. These were podcast sponsorships, me just reaching out to people. I literally only had like 400 downloads in the very first month. But I was still doing some podcast sponsorship outreach. It was immediately sustainable. Didn't make me a millionaire, but there it is. Now, $2,300 in month 4, September 2017. I think this is my first big takeaway here. It is possible to do this. I had a tiny-ish audience. I had maybe 350, 400 people on the email list, and I launched this product. I think if it were affiliate marketing, it wouldn't have gone as well. In fact, it wasn't until much later that I started making money from affiliate marketing. That's another big takeaway. Ads, I did not have enough traffic for ads. I didn't really have enough podcast downloads for like sponsored ads either. But I think digital products, if somebody's going to monetize soon, aside from freelancing, which I'm going to come back to in a second, digital products, easily the best way to monetize quickly. I'm not going to necessarily say it's the best thing people should do, but if people are like, I am going to start a blog, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, I'm going to start a podcast, like Eliad, he's a YouTuber, or actually, I saw your channel, you only had like one video live. Anyways, it's definitely still possible, and I think selling your own products is the way to start. Now, we're going to come back to this in a second, but that's my first lesson. It is totally 100% possible to still start, even in this day and age. When I started in 2017, I was like, this is never going to work. I don't know, but I'm going to try anyways. And then, I don't know, like $2,700 in the first couple of months with 0 audience in a ridiculously difficult niche. So it's pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that. And then I, proceeded to screw it up some down the road, which we'll get to in a second. So I think the second lesson learned here is that every niche has a game being played. Every niche has a game being played. And what I mean by that is food bloggers. If you're going to start a food blog and you want to make money, or a recipe site, or something like that, there is a game being played, and it's called plaster your site with ads and try and get as much traffic as humanly possible, period, at all costs. Like, that's it. At the Mediavine conference a year or two ago, it was like 90% like food bloggers or whatnot, because they are just like traffic and ads, traffic and ads, traffic and ads, traffic and ads, traffic and ads. That is their game. And so the people at the ad conference were primarily food bloggers. And I will say this, they are ruthless in getting their traffic and then displaying ads. They have no shame in putting ads all over the place. You go YouTube or go Google any recipe whatsoever. You've seen this before. If you've Googled a recipe where you're like making dinner, it's littered with ads. And there's a very good reason for it. That's how they make money. There's a game being played in that niche. Now, digital marketing, there's another game being played, and it's called John Lee Dumas, and it's called Neil Patel. I don't hold anything against those people. In fact, I still appreciate all of their content personally. However, they are playing a different game, and it's a game that I'm not willing to play. I don't know how many like emails John Lee Dumas sends out, but it is a ton. Like, he does not care about subscribers or unsubscribers. Like, he shoots out I don't know, probably over 1,000 emails a year. Not maybe not to every single subscriber on his list, but there is a game being played there. I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to market myself like that. I've recently been saving all of Brian Harris's emails, and again, I like Brian Harris, and I approve of his content. It's been very helpful to me. But this dude emails me like a few times a day. Yeah, I've been saving all of Brian Harris's emails just to see how many times he emails me, and it's like 2 on this day, 2 on this day. Like, it's a ton. That is a game in digital marketing across the board. There's a lot of people doing, I'm not going to say shady stuff. I'm not going to say doing anything illegal or immoral, but they're pretty pushy and they're pretty salesy at times. And if that is not a game that you're willing to play, it's not really a game that I'm that willing to play. Well, there's a cost. There's a cost to that. And I think that's one of my biggest takeaways here. Takeaway number 3, working on monetization. Monetization has a cost. There's a trade-off. There's a trade-off. So we're going to come back to that in a second. So every niche has a game being played. I think the big actual takeaway is not that. It's actually, you need to know that. You need to figure out what it is. You need to figure out what it is. Personal finance, monetization, there is a game being played there as well. And there's a lot of personal finance bloggers. Digital marketing, it's a little pushy and a little salesy. If you really want to take it to the next level, starting, especially in 2020, like anybody new, not like a Pat Flynn who can kind of do whatever he wants because he's Pat Flynn and he has a bajillion followers. If that's not you and that's not me, well, then we kind of gotta figure out what game we can play. And there's been a trade-off for me personally. That's this takeaway number 3 here, this lesson number 3. Working on monetization has a cost. And going back to my income statements, the reason, by the way, here's like the first like 5 or 6 months. The reason I had to push this digital product out, this was like a 30-day challenge, by the way, September 2017. I cover all this stuff in my Road to 83K post, by the way. Road to 83K. Oh, I could have just clicked that, whatever. I covered all this on this page, and people can go read this for more. It's a really good post. Not that I'm biased at all, but a lot of what I talk about is why I monetized early. I wish I could have not monetized early. I wish this were all 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 for the first like 2 years. Why? Why do I wish that I did not monetize in the first like year or 2? So I could focus on growth. That's all there is to it. We all have like limited amounts of time, whether you're doing this full time or just in a few hours a week. And every second that you're building out a digital product, working on a sales email, or like pitching for podcast sponsorships or outreach or whatever, every single second you're working on that is a second you're not working on growth. More traffic, more views on YouTube, more downloads to the podcast, getting featured in the media, getting backlinks, all this sort of stuff, which is really important for growth. Obviously, maybe it's not that obvious, but the point is monetization and growth, there is a trade-off. Sometimes they're one and the same. As you grow traffic, hopefully you're going to grow your audience and then make more money down the road, but you got to grow. And if you're not spending that time getting more traffic, getting more backlinks, working on SEO, growing views, downloads, whatever, then you're going to grow slower. So that's what I wrote down here. That was my big takeaway. This is something I've been complaining about to my mastermind group for like a year now. It's like, I need money. I need money. I need Do Even Blog to provide me an income. I wish it weren't so. I wish I didn't need this. I wish I didn't need this to make money so I could run it the way I want. But the point is, I did need it to make money, and I still do. And so there's a trade-off there. I wish I could focus on growth more. And in fact, after PodCourse launches in a few weeks on June 1, and it'll open back up, but after this first launch especially, I am really, really looking forward to not monetizing for a while, not launching anything, not selling anything, especially not creating anything new. Like I have something now that's a little bit more sustainable. And so I get that trade-off back. I'm getting that trade-off back. I'm going to be focused more on growing the YouTube channel and growing SEO traffic again, which I haven't worked on in like 18 months now. So that is another big takeaway that I've learned, especially in like the first year. I wish I did not have to monetize and sell anything, but alas, I did. So just a reminder for everybody watching this document is open to the public. There's anonymous Rhino on it right now, but you can find this at bit.ly/first100k doc. I think I typed that incorrectly. I'll post it in chat again. Link to add your own lessons learned. I shall post it in YouTube chat. I'd love for you guys to come on here if you have anything that you've learned over the years, and just put it on there. Just put it on here. Put your name and website if you want. It'd be pretty fun. There you go. Working on monetization as a trade-off. All right, what's next? Oh, there's a good one. Couldn't have done it without the podcast. Literally could not have made money in the first year without the podcast. Growing traffic was hard for the blogging niche. And I'd argue more and more niches, of course, depending on what you're working on. It's hard. It's hard to grow enough traffic for ads and affiliate marketing. And it's still hard to grow an audience, an email list for launching your own products as well. The podcast is what helped me stand apart. And I think the overall takeaway is you need something. It doesn't have to be a podcast, but you need something that can set you apart. So, by the way, this was 2017 when I started this. In the first year, like these little launches right here, there were blogging podcasts. I mean, obviously there was Pat and the Blog Millionaire, and like there's still like lots of online business and entrepreneurship podcasts. Don't get me wrong, but there weren't any long form interview podcasts, which is what I did. Hey, Wendy. What's up, Wendy J? You are welcome for the vids. So you need something that can set you apart. I couldn't do it now, by the way. I can do other things now, which I'm trying to do through these YouTube lives and stuff like this. But the point is, you got to figure out what you can do now to stand apart, especially in the first 2 years. Again, I'm not talking about somebody who's been blogging on and off and podcasting on and off for years and years and years. I mean people in their first couple of years really looking to double down on monetization. You have to have something that sets you apart. And the reason is, by the way, I didn't actually tell you what I believe is the reason. The reason is, I should like make another column, the Y column over here. Trust and authority. And in fact, you know what? I'll just add another lesson learned down here. More than ever before, trust and authority. I can't spell. Can't spell or type. It's a deadly combo. Trust and authority are more important than ever. And having a standout platform, I'll just put it that way, and having a standout platform helps with that. Yeah, I think everybody should have either a podcast or a YouTube channel for an online business, whether that's a blog or, or freelance work or anything like that. I think everybody should have a podcast or a YouTube channel. Doesn't have to be both, of course, but it has to have some form of, this is me talking to you. And you can see my face. You can see my weird hair and my glasses and my weird style and background in my office. I'm a person. My name's Pete, and I'm here to sell you a product. And when you can hear me talk about it, when you can see me on video talking about it, the trust and authority factor is just skyrockets compared to blogging. Now, there is one more way to do this without starting a podcast or a YouTube channel, but of course it's harder, and that is to showcase personality. I need another column over here. Oh, showcase your personality. It's like side takeaways. What do I need this? Side takeaways. Yeah, how about that? This is goofy, I know, but this is off the top of my head. Somebody write something in here. I see you all. Somebody give me some takeaways. Put them down here. I want to see them. What I mean by this is, if you don't have a podcast, if you don't have a YouTube channel, and you have to convey trust and authority via text, you have to have a personality. You have to be authentic. You have to be transparent in your business, yada, yada. You have to let your personality shine through. A lot of people, when they talk about finding your voice on a blog or podcast or YouTube channel, this is kind of what they're talking about. Like being able to produce content that is brandable, that is tied to your face, to your personality, to your name, to the name of your business. And cookie cutter copycat content doesn't do that because people fail to showcase their personality. I hope this makes sense. I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling a little bit on this point, but it's super important. It's super important. And it's easier to do with a podcast and video. Oh, and by the way, like half of this, I would argue at least the first year, half of this income came from either podcast sponsorships, which is a relatively low amount in that first year, or freelance income that I got directly as a result of having people on the podcast. Let me say that again. Half of my income in the first year. So there were some good products there. Like I said, I launched some courses and it went okay. But well over half of my, and probably like $15,000 to $20,000 in the first year, was either podcast sponsorship, which was less than $1,000, for being honest, and freelancing. And those freelance clients, 100% of them came from the podcast. 100%. Not like, oh, I did a lot of like freelance outreach to like find clients. No. FinCon, PT Money. I had him on the podcast. That's how we met. I got freelance work that came from that. Bobby, I used to do some work for my friend Bobby at Millennium Money Man. My very first podcast guest. That's where we met. Got freelance income there. And yeah, every other freelancing thing I did in the first like year, probably the first like 2 years, came directly as a result of the podcast. Now, I don't think, I'm not saying like you have to do a podcast in order to do that, but for me personally, if I didn't start with the podcast, I don't even know what would have happened. It's crazy to me. Anyways, so let's take a break and talk about Blogger U. This is actually one of my highest months ever. And then fast forward to like 2019. By the way, I launched Blogger U. The first version was kind of this. In the first couple of months of Do Even Blog, there's a Blogger U launch. There's a Blogger U launch. The other one was January. And then I think it was July, November. There you go. I hope you guys can see that. I can't zoom in. I don't know why. I'm like trying to zoom in on Google Docs. It's not letting me. Anyways, Blogger U, Blogger U, Blogger U, Blogger U. What is that? Added up, by the way. $25,000 in the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so not the first year, but the Blogger U launch is $25,000 just for that. And then for those that don't know my story, which again I talk about in this Road to 83K post, you can go check that out. For those that don't know my story, I stopped doing this. This is a brand new podcast and blog in June 2017. Launch a little product. It makes a little bit of money. The product wasn't actually that great, by the way. Neither here nor there. I kind of reshaped it into a library of online courses. There were like 4 or 5 courses bundled together. Launched it. That's when I first called it Blogger U. Blogger U 1.0. And then I launched it 2 months later. I don't know why I really did that, but alas, I only made like $400 on that launch. There was literally less than 100 more people on my email list. Like email list was about probably like 500-ish, 450, 500 people at this point. There were literally only like 50 more people or 60 more people. I don't know why I did that. Don't ever do that. But in general, Blogger U 2.0. And then this one was the next one. $7,500 from that launch. Pretty happy with that. And then this one, of course. And then I stopped. These incomes right here are like mostly freelance, I think, in the months after. And look at what happened for 2019. 2019 was the worst year ever. Look at this, like mid 2019. $343 I made from the blog this month. I stopped doing freelance income right about here, by the way, in like February or so. And got some affiliate revenues in there. I got some, product sales here and there, like small stuff. But then it like tapered off and I didn't launch anything and I didn't launch anything and I didn't launch anything and I didn't launch anything. And it wasn't until October when I launched Online Impact, i.e. Blogger U 2.0, that I started actually making money again. And since then, it's been going great. Slowly, steadily increasing. But this is the next big takeaway. Don't stop what's working. Or at least abandon completely. Abandon completely. Yeah, don't do that. Don't stop what's working. This is so silly. I got so frustrated at these launches because I wanted them to be like 6-figure launches. Like I wanted to make like $40,000 from a launch. I wanted to make like $100,000 from a launch, and they just weren't that. That's not what they were. I didn't have that. I had less than 1,000 people on my email list. Anyways, and the product was not fantastic. It was good. It was great. It worked, by the way. I still had people around, students, and it's better now. But for the first couple launches, I was expecting way more than I actually got. And so that caused blindness. Blindness to a few different things, but mostly blindness to what's working. Like what worked? What happened with these launches? How did I take a new podcast and in 14 months make $25,000 just from the sales of one product? It's so stupid. I stopped doing it. I got frustrated. I thought it could be better. I wanted to try something different. And so I abandoned it completely. Not like put it on hold, but abandoned it completely. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't abandon it. I forgot the word it. Or at least abandon it completely. Don't do that. And this is very closely related. And I even wrote out on my notes here. Always keep an eye. Always keep an eye out for what's working, even during failures. If you have a new blog, you have a new podcast, you have a new whatever, you're trying to launch products, you're trying to do affiliate marketing campaigns, whatever that is, even if you don't get the results you want, which is, I would argue, 90% plus of the time for all creators everywhere. We all wish we could make more money. We all wish we could do better and do better product launches and, have more success, grow faster. We all want these things. So I would argue like 90% of the stuff we do isn't up to our standards. We're not like, oh, that went perfectly, right? Nothing's like that in online business for anybody, by the way. Not new people, everybody, all creators. The important part is, even during the failures, to, learn from them. I guess this is really obvious. Learn from your failures. That sounds too bland for me. I really like keep an eye out for what does work, even during the failures. And I have some specific examples from my own stuff here. So during these couple of launches, like the first couple of phases right here, I had no accountability for my students who bought in. I had no membership community components. I had nothing. It was literally just like a few online courses. That's it. No follow-up sequence via email. Literally nothing. Just the courses. And nobody ever took them. One of these launches, I believe it was July, I started implementing a onboarding call. This is the first part that I implemented. Literally, you buy this, and we're just going to chat on the phone for like 10 to 15 minutes. Just a simple customer onboarding call with me. And it made the world of a difference. And that, to me, even what I perceived this as a failed launch, by the way. It wasn't. It was a great launch, looking back. But at the time, I was fairly unhappy with it. And something I did smart for this launch was I saw that little onboarding call meant people actually took the courses, less refunds, more people that stick around for my brand and my teaching for the long run. Some of those members are very much still active in my own community. I thought that was cool. And that was something I was thankfully smart enough to be like, oh, you know what? This launch may not have worked, but this thing right here, that was a good idea. And that worked. I have another example of something that I failed to capitalize on. It was back in, I think it was this, March or April 2018. I launched another product called Most Productive Month Ever. It's a goofy name. Basically, this was an accountability program for 1 month. People paid me, I think it was like $100. People paid me $100. I would call them once a week or 2 or 3 times a week. I let them choose, just for 5 minutes, and just bug them and keep them accountable. Hey, they had to give me their goals. Like, hey, how are you doing on your goals? Did you work on it this week, in the past couple of days? How's it going? And I called it the most productive month ever. And here's the thing. It wasn't very fun for me. And it made some money, but not like a ton of money. I kind of chalked it up as like, that was kind of a failed experiment, but I enjoyed it. I'm not going to do that again. I kind of chalked it up as a failure without keeping an eye out for what's working. Excuse me. And what worked was I had 100% success rate on the product, keeping people accountable. 100% of the people that came in shared their goal, what they wanted to do for the month. and let me call them once a week or call them 2 times a week. 100% success rate on every single person that came into the program. Huh. What's happening here? Those people had nothing but positive things to say about the program. They're very happy with their, like, they paid $100 and I crushed my goals for this month. The most productive month I've ever had. 100% success rate. Never did anything with it. Like, never implemented that again in any of the other products. Never touched it. Just like completely let that one slide by. When in reality, what I should have done was taken a look at that and asked myself, like, that worked for the customers. How could I make it easier on myself? Because like I said, I didn't really enjoy like calling people a whole lot. I actually kind of dreaded it. After I did a few calls, I was like, I gotta call people. Anyways, I probably could have figured out another way to have some of the same effects. I could have taken that and applied it to like my Blogger U launches. I could have offered that as an add-on. I could have offered that as a service. I could have launched it again a little bit differently. Maybe I could have charged people a little bit more, especially since I had like some social proof, some testimonials or whatnot. And instead, I just kind of let it slide by. Like, I never actually processed, hey, there was actually a really good takeaway from this failed product. I never internalized that. There you go. I should have. What's next? Always keep an eye out for what's working, even during failures. You got any more here? We can talk about what's after that. Of course. Oh, wait. Define what you want from your business. This is the last one. It's the last big takeaway, at least. Define what you want from your business. So I did this in July 20, this month. I don't know, like June, July 2019. This is, again, this is after I stopped doing Blogger U launches and I watched my income slowly, like depreciate, especially when I made like $50,000 in the first like 16, 17 months. Come down here, I stopped launching. I'm like, wait, why am I making less money? The blog is growing. The podcast is growing. Like, I have more email subscribers now. Why am I making less money? Like, I don't understand. And then I remembered like, oh, I'm not actually selling anything. I'm not actually launching anything. And it was at this point, again, this was like late June or July 2019. I had a like 3-hour phone call with Raina, who works at Do Even Blog. And I've told this story before, by the way. And we pretty much went over like, okay, what does Pete want? I never thought about that before. I've kind of dreamed like, oh yeah, I want a profitable business. Oh yeah, I love like selling courses and making courses. Oh yeah, totally cool. I love all that stuff. What do I actually want? Like in a dream scenario, not like what's realistic. What could I reasonably push out? How much money could I reasonably make in the next 3 months? But no, like if I had my way, if I could snap my fingers, like, oh, I called it the Thanos Infinity Gauntlet business. For those of you who have seen like Avengers Infinity Gauntlet, snaps his finger, like instantly does like whatever he dreams of, whatever. What business would you have if you could do that? If you could snap your fingers right now, today, what is your dream business? What does that look like? What products are you selling? How much are the products? What does your team look like? Like a full-on like startup are we doing? Or a couple of like virtual assistants or just you? Or, what does that business look like? Define that and then work from there. Maybe it's like actually doable in my case. That was like one of the big lessons I learned from this was it's actually pretty doable. I defined online impact. I had this 3-hour phone call with Raina, like I said. I defined my quote unquote dream business, like what I actually wanted it to look like. And the big takeaway is, or the side takeaways, as I noted on my Google Doc here. Oh, I lost it. The side takeaway is it might actually be possible. Maybe it's not. Maybe you want like $1 billion a month empire and that's, going to be pretty tough. But in my scenario, the dream business I defined was online impact. And quite frankly, I'd already started building it in Blogger U. Blogger U was like, it was like 60, 70% there by the time I stopped launching it. And by the way, I only had like 1,100, 1,400 people on the email list at this point, made $12,000. My first like, what is that, 5 figures? Yeah. My first 5-figure month. It was working. It was totally working. And I had already began building that. I stopped, by the way. But in June, July, defined online impact. It was pretty much Blogger U, and decided right then and there, like, okay, this is the dream business. Is there any reason I should not be working towards that right now? Is there any reason? No, in my case. It was doable. It was totally possible. And I think a lot of people don't do that. I think a lot of people should like sit back, take a look at their Blogger business, and just ask themselves, like, what do I want? Not reasonably, like in a perfect world, what do I want? The dream business. And then what parts of that can I start working on right now? Is there any reason I shouldn't start working on that dream business right now? I think more people would benefit from that. I think they should. All right. Nobody's like playing my little game. There's only like 5 people in the live stream. There's nobody playing my game of writing lessons learned down here, which is sad. Anyways, I'm going to actually leave it at that then. Yeah, I will. Does anybody have any questions? I am going to come back over here and hang out in the chat for a couple of minutes. Eliad's over here. Wendy, thank you guys for coming on. Does anybody have any questions? I'm more than happy to open up, share anything about my online income. Where's my water? Hang on. I'm getting parched up in here. That's good. That's good. Oh, yeah. I'm more than happy to share anything about my income statements. You just guys pop me in some questions over here. April was a good month. December was a good month. I kind of like actually started reaching out to sponsors in those couple of months right there. Last 6 months. It's funny watching this graph. It's crazy to me, like how varied this is right here. Got anything else I want to share? I don't think so. Nobody has any questions. I'm just gonna like check out, head out. Last chance. Does anybody want a sticker? Dude, like stickers. Stickermule.com is where I got these, by the way. They're so awesome. Paid like $50 and they sent me I think it was a promo at the time. $50. They sent me like 200 stickers. It's like, sweet. Gave them out at conferences. Anyways, all right. I'm going to sign off of the live stream. Thank you so much to everybody who showed up live. That's 5 people. It's funny. I have 5,000 people on my email list, and 5 people make it to the YouTube live. What's going on with that? I don't know. There's something there. Oh, wait. I got a question here. Wendy, what platforms did you promote on, and what is the mic you are using? Well, let's talk on the mic answer first. So this is a Heil PR40. It's my expensive mic. And hang on, where's my other mic? Here's one of them. So this is actually the mic I recommend. This would be the Rode Pod mic. It's a lot cheaper. This was $320, I think, on Amazon at the moment. Or actually, it's in pandemic. I don't know what pandemic pricing is, but it's usually $320. Heil PR40, H-E-I-L. Yeah, H-E-I-L. PR40. I recommend the $99 Rode Pod mic. The only downside is, I don't know if you guys can like see this or not. It's an XLR mic, as in not USB. You can't plug it in via USB. You have to have some sort of audio interface, which I do have. The Behringer 204 or 404. I don't know. I recommend that. Or the ATR 2100X Audio-Technica. ATR 2100X. It's a really great USB mic. I love that. I've had the older version of that, the 2100, for 3 years. That was my first podcasting mic. I still got it. It still works great. I love it. What platforms did you promote on? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, by the way, Wendy. What, did I promote the courses? Or did I promote this YouTube live? I'm confused. Sorry. I'm assuming you mean courses. I don't know. I've used pretty much everything, actually. So right now I'm on Podia, and that's what I recommend. And actually, I can point you to my Podia review, which ranks number 1, I believe, in YouTube. Just go to YouTube and type in Podia review. I should pop right up on the first page somewhere. And I will actually, Podia review. I actually go over some of the other platforms that I've used in this one as well. I've done Thinkific, Teachable, LearnDash, and Lifter LMS. Teachable was the very first one, which I do not approve of. I mean, that's fine. Oh, I misspelled it. I don't know what Techable is. Hey, you gonna give me some MacBook Pros? Anyways, Teachable was the very first one I used. I didn't like it. I didn't like the reporting. The back end was confusing. It's a terrible experience for my end users, my customers, in my opinion. I went to Thinkific about a year and a half ago, and I was on them for about a year. I like it better than Teachable, but it was a little pricey for the features I got, and again, just like a little clunky on the back end. It was hard to like make things look good for whatever reason. Things were always like fuzzy and clunky. I don't know why. And in October, or I guess more like November, December last year, I finally went over to Podia based on a recommendation from a friend, and that is what I use today and recommend today. User experience is way better. The pricing is just right. They don't have a free plan, but I don't care. It's way better than all the other ones. Products. Yep, that's where I'm launching. PodCourse is going to be 100% on Podia and Elementor for bloggers, the new Blogger Bootcamp, Crush Your Content. I haven't moved all my other courses over yet. I'm planning on doing that in the next couple of months. Just wanted to get PodCourse launched first. But yeah, Podia. And then I use, by the way, Thrivecart as my, that's going to make me log in. I use Thrivecart as my checkout page. It's only because they have a lifetime thing. Like it's $700, I think. Yeah, $700. $600 or $700, and it's lifetime though. Like Samcart, their competitor, is $100 a month, and Thrivecart was like a one-time purchase right now, like $600-700. And I bought that like a year ago, so I use this for all my actual checkout pages. PodCourse. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Boop. Oh, let's just click this for like this sort of stuff. Oh wow, I need to go and like fill this out. Anyways, yep. I hope that answered your question, Wendy. If not, please let me know. For people to find your courses on Podia, would you recommend using Twitter to promote it? Yes and no. That's a loaded question. I would recommend using every channel to promote it. If you have a blog, yeah, point people from the blog content. Point people there from a menu item on your website or anything else like that. I would use Pinterest. I would use the content itself. I would try to have content specifically produced, whether it's blog post or YouTube or anything, specifically produced to point people to your courses. For example, Elementor tutorial. I don't know if I'm on page 1 or not, but we'll see. So, oh my gosh. Hey, look, I'm on page 1. Well, it's funny. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos ranking on page 1 for Elementor tutorial. Whatever. But I'm the first result under that. For example, Wendy, this post was entirely geared. Well, first of all, I do make some affiliate income through Elementor. But the biggest part of what I get out of this is actually pointing people to my course, Elementor for bloggers, which I talk about at the very end. But people still get there. People still buy every now and then. Okay, yeah. Introducing Elementor for bloggers, etc., etc. So yeah, making content specifically geared to help point people to your products, or talking about social media again. Yeah, I would use all sorts of socials to promote it. It depends on the product though. Is it an evergreen product or is it a launch? Like just a one-time open cart where it only open for a couple of days, or is it an evergreen thing? So obviously if it's an evergreen thing available 365 days a year, you don't want to be like spamming Twitter every single day, like promoting a course. Like of course that would never work. You'd have to figure out other ways to start getting an audience there. By the way, I'm throwing this out there, not just for Wendy, but for anybody. Let me open a new text doc right here. Oh wait, no wait, let's just put it on my lessons learned doc right here. Let's put the only 3 steps to marketing. This is marketing summarized in 3 steps. 1, figure out who your audience is. Or in other words, know your audience. My audience is these people exactly. 2, figure out, there's a bunch of figuring out. Figure out where they hang out. Uh-oh. All caps, I'm yelling. Where they hang out on the internet. And number 3, figure out, there's a lot of figuring out, figure out how to get your stuff in front of them. There are no other steps of marketing. Everything that comes into marketing, whether that's Facebook ads or social media promotion using Twitter or content marketing or getting on other people's podcasts to promote your own stuff, which I'm going to do here in about an hour on my friend Dustin's podcast. Everything else falls into these 3 steps. Figure out who your audience is, understand where they hang out on the internet, find a way to get in front of them. That's like super broad and not very actionable, by the way. Sorry, Wendy. But in general, I think asking like, where should I promote my courses? How can I get more customers? It's that. First of all, who are your customers? Where do they hang out online? Are they on Reddit or are they on Pinterest? It's probably not both. Are they on Twitter? It may not be if you're selling anything in personal finance, or if you're me and are connected with a bunch of personal finance bloggers and digital marketing people, SEO people, they are on Twitter. SEO people don't hang out on Facebook, they hang out on Twitter. Personal finance people don't really hang out on Facebook all that much, maybe some Facebook groups, but they're all on Twitter and they engage. Are they on Instagram? Are they on TikTok? Are they on, who knows where? Where's your audience? Or who's your audience? Figure out where they hang out. And then you got to find a way to get there. Going specifically back to Twitter, my own advice would be to use Twitter the exact way it was intended to be used, which is short updates and connections, relationship building with other people in your niche or your customers directly, if your customers are on Twitter, and just doing like short updates, short thoughts, tweet storms, like using the platform the way it's intended to be used. Sometimes you can point people to your blog. Some people you can point, sometimes you can point them directly to your products or whatever. But for the most part, I would aim to just do like, almost consider yourself like a little news outlets. Like I think the other day I put on Twitter something about hitting the 100K mark for Do Even Blog. And I didn't have a link back to my site, didn't promote any courses or whatnot. And it's one, I haven't looked at the analytics, but I saw like a bunch of people like, liking it and commenting on it and stuff like that. Like that's how Twitter is meant to be used. And it's the same thing with a Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or whatever. You got to figure out like how it's intended to be used and like use it like that in order to satisfy the marketing thing, in order to get in front of where your people hang out. For example, Facebook and video. Facebook doesn't really want me to like keep pointing people over to YouTube and YouTube Live. They're not incentivized to do that. So if I'm trying to grow a YouTube channel, I need to be on YouTube for one thing. And I can use Facebook to point people here, but it's probably not going to have that great of results. In fact, Facebook would actually love it if I did more Facebook Lives, because that keeps people on Facebook. That's the truth of it. Twitter wants more people on Twitter. YouTube definitely wants more people on YouTube, which is why we're all here. Yeah. That was a lot of rambling for your fairly straightforward question. Oh, yeah. You're welcome, Wendy. Thank you for coming on and hanging out. All right, I am going to leave now. Thank you so much to everybody watching this live. I love you guys. There you go. If you give me an emoji in chat, I'll pick one person and send you some stickers. Give me an emoji in chat in the next 30 seconds. Go. The emoji that best sums up how you're feeling right now. I got one. I'm going to go get my emoji. You can go to emojipedia.org. It's my favorite website ever. This is a good one. Check mark. This is how I feel right now. I'm putting it in chat. Hey-o. I'm doing the check marks in chat because I feel like I'm now done with my day. This has been the large majority of my day, just like working up to the YouTube Live, and I've like checked this box now. Like, okay, I'm done. Wendy, Elsa or Ilsa? I can't see it. Oh, screw it. You're asking questions. I'll stay a second. I'm a coach, psychotherapist, just starting with online courses. I need an email list provider. I was thinking of doing everything on Podia. Yeah, you can do that. It's actually not a terrible idea. And in fact, that's kind of what they are working towards. I would definitely start with that. Start with that, or I cannot believe I'm saying this. I was going to say start with SynFox. Oh, Noah. Noah's our founder. Anyways, he's trying to get me on SynFox. I would start with something free, is basically what I was saying. Free or included. If you're going to be using Podia, yeah, totally, 100%. Like use that. You can always go to ActiveCampaign, something fancy, or ConvertKit or whatever later on, like if you need the extra features, because right now, like the features are just pretty simple, by the way. Actually, you know, one cool thing about just using Podia is you can actually, can you embed these? I can't remember if you can embed these on your site or not. I know you can like use your Podia site for email capture. I can't actually remember if you can embed them on other sites, like a different website. I don't remember. I have to go look into that. I actually don't think you can. You can use something like Elementor or any sort of like integration, I'm sure. Yeah, I would use Elementor probably to push people here or something. I don't know. Ignore me. I'm rambling now. Yeah, use email here. You can collect subscribers here, but you have to figure out a way to get them on your email list in Podia, which is the hard part. So if you're a coach just starting with online courses and need an email list provider, it depends on what you're doing. If you're sending out like weekly broadcasts only to people who have bought the courses, yeah, I would do that. If you're looking to get people from your website and start a newsletter and then sell your courses, I actually don't know if I would do that. You could, but again, the question is, how do they get on your email list? Especially if you have a different blog and a different website. If that's the case, I would go with either a SendFox or a MailerLite. They both, MailerLite has way more features, if I'm being completely honest with you. But SendFox is, I think, maybe a little bit simpler. It's very simple. Yeah, lead magnet for free. If the lead magnet is on Podia, for example, if you have like a new free thing, like a digital download or whatever, like a webinar, you named it. If it was on Podia, yeah, you could just do that. You could just do that if that's the only way people are getting on. But then again, if you have your website and you have like a homepage where people could sign up for your list, how do you get them on? And there's still ways. You could use Zapier or anything like that, but it just becomes like a little trickier. Yeah. Hope that answered your question. I can't remember how much is SendFox is just really affordable in general. Throttled sends per month. What does that mean? I have, let's say you have like 500. How many email subscribers? Oh, you don't have to tell me. And I send 4 campaigns a month. Wait, that's still $50? Oh, no. A $49 one-time cost. Oh, I was like, what? $50 a month? That was stupid. Yeah, a one-time cost. Okay. And if you had 1,000? Oh, okay, that's cool. Oh, I see. 5K contacts plus 10 each 1K contacts. That's a single payment. Oh, man, that's like nothing. That's awesome. Okay, yeah, SendFox. Go with a SendFox or a MailerLite, which is free, up to 1,000 subscribers. Or 2,000 subscribers. I can't remember. It's one of those. All right. No more questions. I'm leaving now. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate you coming and hanging out live. I'll tell you what. Wendy Ilsa. I don't know how to say that. You're going to have to let me know. If you guys will email Pete at Do You Even Blog, you don't have to do this, but if you want one, if you guys will email Pete at Do You Even Blog with your mailing addresses, I'll send you a little note and some stickers. There you go. Just shoot me an email, Pete at Do You Even Blog, and I'll get that out. Anyways, thank you guys for watching on the live stream. Seriously. Let me know if you have any questions as well, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again for being here.